is up, YouTube? That's it here, bringing you guys the next episode in my How To Use series. Today we are going to be looking at my boy Zoroark. So to start things off here, for those of you guys that need a little bit of a refresher course in how this series works, this series is where we take one Pokemon and I show you guys 6 completely different sets on how I use this Pokemon. And this is going all the way back. I have an almost 10-year history of playing competitively. That's going to be VGC, that's going to be singles, that's going to be all that good stuff. And I've been using so many sets for years that I have video documentation of me using all these sets in game. So for each one of these sets, for most of them, I'll be leaving multiple videos of me using this from this channel that you guys can check out. You're like, oh, I really like this set you use. I like the 3rd, 4th set that you guys use. You'll be able to check those out and go look at them in the description below. Just do me a favor, check it out. You guys should actually be able to learn a lot of stuff. So starting things off, we're going to be looking at Zoroark here. We're actually going to be looking at this set first. And we're going to be looking at Zoroark. For those of you guys that don't know, this thing has the illusion ability, and it's going to make this Pokemon appear as the last Pokemon in your party until it takes direct damage. So in VGC, that's going to be the 4th person in your party, and in singles, that's going to be the 6th person. And so you may be thinking, why is that such a good ability? Is that even any good? Does that make Zoroark any good? So Zoroark's base stats are actually kind of low. It has decent attack. It has above average special attack and a pretty good speed tiering. Actually 105 is actually a really niche number, and if you put investment into that and make it either timid or jolly, it actually outspeeds a lot of stuff because there are so many base 100 Pokemon. So speed stat is probably actually its best stat compared to all its other ones. But yeah, Zoroark, not really that great, doesn't have an amazing move pool, but what it does have is that illusion ability, so it's always going to look like something else, and it's that guessing game that it makes your opponent play at the start of the game that makes this Pokemon extra special. They don't know, they're like, oh, is that a Zoroark? Is it not a Zoroark? What should I do if it is? You know, they start taking risks. Like, I've disguised Zoroark as Aegislash and have people start like super powering my Aegislashes, or like in like a best of 3, you condition them into like super powering your Aegislash because they really want to start hitting a Zoroark, and you know, when they actually have a superpower and Aegislash is actually an Aegislash, and you didn't even bring Zoroark that game, like the mind game gets people, and that's why Zoroark is such a good mon. So we're going to be showcasing 6 sets that showcase this Pokemon, so they're going to be as diverse as I could possibly make them. Like I said, this Pokemon is a very limited move pool because it has such a good ability. So the first set is going to be one that I used in 2015. There's going to be 2 or 3 videos showing how this Pokemon works. I used it at a bunch of PCs. I got actually a decent amount of CP with this in the 2015 season. And it is going to be a choice spec set. So you may be wondering, what's good about choice specs? Like I said, this thing has pretty decent special attack. 120 is no slouch. And Focus Blast, Z Focus Blast one-shots Kangaskhan. And Kangaskhan was like the king of 2015. So Z Focus Blast, you can disguise him as something with inner focus. They won't fake out you. Disguise him as a ghost. Disguise him as whatever. Disguise him as another Kangaskhan, and just pop their Kangaskhan's in the face. All you gotta worry about is that 70% accuracy. But you know what? It's worth it because they are so tilted after you hit it. Like, watch the videos I'm going to be linking. It's going to showcase some sick Zoroark play. Z Focus Blast is really good. Sorry, not Z. Just Focus Blast is really good. There were no Z moves back then. Night Daze is just a really good stabbed move. It's really good against Cresselias and any other psychic types that really want to set up Trick Room. This is a move you're going to be using most of the time just because it's your hardest hitting move. It was really good against like Talonflames and stuff in that format, and it still works in the 2018 format today. You have Flamethrower in there. It's a pretty good move, and you can always disguise Zoroark as other Pokemon. Remember, like, disguising Zoroark as Heatran, while it might not be optimal because they both share that fighting weakness, if you pop a Flamethrower, they're like, oh, the Heatran's using Flamethrower. It's actually Heatran. Cool. They're going to start playing like it's really a Heatran, and in 2 or 3 turns, if they don't attack you or they're going to attack you next turn, you can switch out into something else, and they didn't even know the Zoroark was on the board, so when you send it out later and it's disguised as Heatran again or disguised as something else, you're really going to be able to catch them off guard. And speaking of catching them off guard, you got Hyper Voice in the last slot, and Hyper Voice is there instead of Hidden Power Ice. You may be thinking, you need Hidden Power Ice, you gotta beat Lando, you gotta beat like Salamence, all the things that take the ice damage. You could put the Hidden Power Ice. If this is your set, you can totally play Hidden Power Ice, but I'm here to tell you that Hyper Voice is the set for me, and it totally is what makes this set pretty good. So in 2015, when I made this set, there was a lot of like sweepers, like people were still using Talonflame, people were still using like heavily invested Pokemon in offensive stats instead of bulk, and so this Hyper Voice boosted up Zoroark's base 120 stat. Like, it actually hit pretty hard. Like, it's a 90 base move. It's a spread move. It's not stabbed. I know when people think of Hyper Voice, they think of, like, Salamence, Gardevoir, you know, stuff like that. Those big, like, Aerialate, Pixelate users that get the little steroid boost and then just stab it and deal a ton of damage. This Hyper Voice is not dealing one-hit KOs on anything. It's dealing about 20 to 30% to both of their mons. And that's the thing. Both of their mons. It hits both things. Sometimes you just gotta do a little bit of chip damage to 2 things, and it's really important to have, I think. It makes it really complements the other moves here, because sometimes you can just send Zoroark out. If they have one thing that has like 1 HP from a sash or like 20% left, you finish it off with a Hyper Voice, you chunk the next one, and that's all you really needed to do. Like, that's all you really needed to do. Like, finish off one, chip the next one, let your teammate take care of the rest. And I really, really like Hyper Voice on here, and hopefully the games that I have below will showcase some Hyper Voice strats. So that's all I got for the first set. We're going to go into the next one here. The next one is going to be, I think, the standard Zoroark set. We got a Sash set with Protect, Taunt, Flamethrower, Night Days. It doesn't get much more simple than that. Again, we're going with the Timid. Gotta go Timid. Just need that speed. And remember, this is a special attacker, so Flamethrower, Night Days. For those of you guys who don't know what Night Days is, some people like using Dark Pulse over Night Days. Dark Pulse is a little bit weaker, but it can flinch. But Night Days is like a little bit stronger. It's 95 accuracy, which is like the scariest part of this move, but it has a 40% chance. 40% to lower their accuracy by 1. I think this is one of the best moves in the game. I love this move. The RNGs go up for this thing, and I love it. Night Days is so sick. Standard Zoroark set. You guys have probably seen this many times, and if you haven't seen this, well, this is a Zoroark set you should probably try and use if you haven't really used one yet. Just 252 special attack, 252 speed, put that Timid up there, and you're good to go. So if you guys are interested in using Zoroark and you've never used it before, just throw this guy in your team. You'll get some wins with it. It's pretty good. Alright, going into the next one, it's another Sash set, but this one is completely different. Now, this is a single set from 2011, I think. This is a single set from 2011 that I used. I really like it a lot. It's so different. It's so unique, right? You have a Sash, right? So you're going to be able to live at 1. You have Protect, you have Counter, you have U-Turn and Sucker Punch. So it's kind of like a counter priority set, like a counter quick attack set, but you have Sucker Punch instead. Sucker Punch is pretty good, like the Zoroark set. This is more of a physical one, because you have the U-turn, which is always going to be good. Sure, you're probably going to be revealing yourself because, you know, like, let's say your disguise is Heatran again. You know, Heatran doesn't get U-turn, but you know what I mean? You're going to be able to hit them pretty hard. Zoroark, again, has 105 base attack. It's hitting relatively hard. Sucker Punch, I think they nerfed it to a 70 in this gen, but it is stabbed, so it's dealing a lot of damage. What you're mainly trying to do is send Zoroark out and just pop a counter. They're going to use counter on you, you're going to counter, you're going to one-shot something else, and you know what, they're going to be like, alright, well, that's the Zoroark, I already know it's a Zoroark, I clocked its dash, I can see it, they're just going to try and fight you, and you're going to be like, you can protect bait them that way, or you can just go for a stab Sucker Punch and deal a little bit more extra credit damage. So this set, while not amazing, this set is definitely a different way to use it, and I have used it in singles to great success. In singles, I cut Protect for Sunny Day, because weather is sometimes used in singles, or at least it was back in 2011. So this is definitely originally a singles set. You can also cut Protect for Taunt in singles if you want. But yeah, I like this set a lot, and I've had a lot of success with it. I'll be leaving some links to videos, some old videos in my channel below, so definitely do me a favor and check those out if you guys are interested in how to see this set, how this set works in game. But we're gonna be moving on to the next set here. We're halfway through. And we're going to have the first Z move set, the first of many Z move sets. So this set is very similar to the Sash set. Instead of Taunt, though, we're going a little bit more damage. Again, we're still going to be using the full Timid one, and I just want to make sure I'm going to backtrack to the spec. Remember that this Zoroark, the Focus Sash counter one, it was Jolly instead of Timid, and it was fully invested in attack instead of special attack, since you're using physical attacks in U-Turn and Sucker Punch. But that was just a little backtrack. I probably should have mentioned that before, but we're going to go back to what we're looking at. We're going to get the Flyinium Z set. So this is using a Z Crystal boosted off a Focus Blast. This is pretty much just making it so your Focus Blast hits super hard the first time, and it guarantee hits. So it's the most unseen version. So like, this Zoroark's super good against Tyrannitars, against Stakatakas, against Heatrans, anything that needs to eat that big fighting damage against Kangaskhan's. Like, this is pretty much just an updated version of like the Choice Spec set, in my opinion, for the VGC 2018 meta. This is the set that I've used the most. This is really good in Battle Spot singles. This is really good in VGC doubles. I use it a lot in the Endeavor Pokemon League. I have like 3 or 4 videos would be just using this set because I feel it's so good. So I'll be leaving those in the description. Do me a favor, check those out if you're interested in seeing how this set works and the type of Pokemon to put in your team to complement this sort of set. It's pretty good. And again, last but not least, same set as before. It's just Timid. It's nothing special. Zoroark is going to be 252s across the board, in my opinion. This thing's so frail. It's literally the definition of a glass cannon. So hopefully you guys just stick to 252s for this thing, because you're not really going to get that much out of putting stats in other stats. So there's the Flyinium Z set. We got more Z moves, and this one is a little bit weird. It's a little bit more gimmicky. So this is going to be the Darkium Z. So the Darkium Z, you're thinking, oh, cool. I'll boost Night Days with this one. You could boost Night Days, you could one-shot a Cresselia, that'd be pretty cool, one-shot some Gothitels, you know, that's okay, deal some big damage with your big stab move, that's totally fine. Or you could pop a Z Snatch, because Snatch is just a pretty cool move, and not everything gets Snatched. Now, a lot of things do get Snatched, so Snatch is a move that steals certain support moves. So you're going to steal Screens, Aurora Veils, Tailwinds, that's the big one, minimizes, stat boosts, all those things, like Shell Smash, you take those are yours. Like, Snatch is so good, and it's so underused in VGC, and I don't know why. Like, they're gonna belly drum, that's your belly drum now, they can't use it, and you may be thinking, I don't want to take half my health, but like, do you want to lose the game if they belly drum you? Like, the more you deny that belly drum, the better, and that's just the bad example of using Snatch. Like, I used to do stuff like that all the time, but Snatch is so good, and this Zoroark actually has the ability to use Dark EMZ on Snatch. For those of you guys who don't know what that does, it's going to give you a ×2 speed boost. So, like, you take their boost, and you get your speed boost, and you just run them over. Like, oh my gosh, it's so devastating to use this off. And it's a really cool, like, really underutilized way to use Zoroark, because like, you could totally just go with the Z Night Days, but like, busting out the Z Snatch, or just a Snatch in general, something that wouldn't normally get it, is so crippling to certain players. Like, certain players, that'll just break them. Like, if they're like, oh cool, I'm totally safe to set up here, and they go to set up and use Z Snatch or something that shouldn't have any way to do that at all, oh, it's just the best feeling in the world. And we're gonna go to the last set. It's gonna be one of my favorites. I've been trying to make this work for like all season, and it is just so hard. It's another physical set. Oh, so again, I forgot to mention, this set's going to use a modest Zoroark, because this set's more dealt about dealing that damage, so you're going to be able to deal big damage with Night Days, and also since you're using Z Snatch most of the time, you're going to be already getting a ×2 speed boost, so this is why we got modest on this one. This is the only one that's going to be using modest, and you could still go timid if you want, but I think you can get away with modest, which is why it's on here. And here, back to the Flyinium Z, and this one's going to be Adamant. This is what reminded me to go back and talk about the fact that the last one was modest. But yeah, it's Adamant, because you got to deal the damage. You actually need Adamant to have a couple calcs. Like, you need Adamant to one-shot a couple Pokemon with this being super hard. Like, you need it to one-shot Bulu, I think, and it's pretty important. So Flyinium Z, boosted off a Bounce. Now, Bounce is a 2-turn move. It's kind of like Dig, but it sends you in the air instead of underground. It's normally an 85. I think it goes to like a 170 or 175 off the Bounce, but it's going to be a Flyinium Z Zoroark. There's like no way anyone will ever see this coming, and it's a physical Zoroark. It also has low kick and knockoff, so you got your stab knockoff. You can cut knockoff for Sucker Punch if you want. I still think knockoff's really good on Zoroark. Low kick's there just for like T-Tars and other stuff like that, because those are still pretty scary, but the Bounce, boys, like, even if they know you have Zoroark, even if something went out, like, let's say you led Zoroark in something, and like they led T-Tar in something, they double protected to see who took Sandstorm damage first, and they revealed that you were Zoroark, or, you know, you went for a low kick, or you went for a protect, and they went for a protect, and you protect faster than something they wouldn't normally protect, and they found out you had Zoroark, or they know you have Zoroark on a certain slot, they know a certain Pokemon Zoroark. There's no way they're expecting a Flyinium Z bounce off this thing. Like, it's the best. Like, I've been using this on Showdown and like Sneaker for a while, and I'm probably gonna try and take it to like a PC or something next season if it's like at all viable, but it's so funny using Z-Bounce as Zoroark. It's literally one of the funniest things in the games. And hopefully you guys are going to try this in your own games. I want to know, what do you guys think about this bounce set? You guys think this is too deep, or you guys think this is like supreme meme tier stuff? I want to know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And I also just want you guys to, you know, let me know what you guys think about this whole video in the comments below. Do you guys like this type of series? It's been a while since I've uploaded a video of this kind to the channel, but you know what? Now this is my full-time job starting this month. I have the time and the willpower to do it. So there's going to be a ton more how to use videos in the comments below. So guys, as we always do in these videos, let me know in the comments, what Pokemon do you want to see next time? The Pokemon that gets the most votes out of whatever people want to see in the chat next time, we will feature in the next video most likely, and I'll try to think of 6 sets that I can feature. So hopefully you guys like this. Let me know what you want to see next time, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.